here tonight. They tipped it up, and it's Kansas State with the first possession as Doug McDaniel brings it up the floor. What's the key here early on offensively for the Wildcats? Well, here's the turnover. You got to protect the rock.
That is never a good way to start a game, and you talk about what it is, it's ball security. Can they make every possession count? You do not want this game to get away from you in this electric atmosphere.
Chad O'Meara couldn't get his first shot to go as we take a look at the starting five for Kansas State. As see Coleman Hawkins, the big man inside. He's the transfer from Illinois. They're looking for him to get a little more punch on the offensive side. Hawkins setting the screen there for McDaniel. Shot clock is at 7. Now an inside touch to David Gasson, their leading scorer, and he gets scoring started.
Solid possession right there for the Wildcats. Grind it down to the final seconds, get a high percentage shot in the lane.
All right, here's the starting five without starting point guard Jeremy Roach, which means there's going to be more opportunities. Guys have to step up because Baylor's probably only going to go 7 deep as more Chad O'Meara can't get it to go at the rim.
Uncharacteristic of him, he's a finisher. Had 2 point-blank shots early on, couldn't get either to go.
Gasson, he's been aggressive early, it rolls off. Robert Wright, the freshman from Wilmington, Delaware, has been dishing out dimes, but Ojanuna could not finish.
Baylor Bears 0 for 3 on layups.
And Hawkins on the other end. Head coach of the Baylor Bears, Scott Drew, in his 22nd season, he said, this year it has been the story of injuries, one guy after the next, which means who's going to step up and who's going to do more in the absence of Jeremy Roach. Also, no Langston Love tonight. Jaden Nunn, his first shot attempt off the mark. Good box out, but it's Baylor on the offensive glass. And a reaching foul is going to be called as VJ Edgecombe will get to the free throw line.
You mentioned how important injuries are. Behind the scenes, injuries change how your offense looks because the guys that create certain things are missing. So the way everybody plays is different. The looks that you get when guys aren't in the lineup are completely different than the looks you get when they're out there playing. So how they score, how they continue to be effective, missing key guys, it's going to be important.
Corey, even having bodies in practice. I mean,
oh, yeah.
What is that like, not having your best on best going against each other? As we take a look at Jerome Tang in his 3rd season as the head coach of Kansas State. This is his first time ever coming inside this Foster Pavilion in the 2nd season of basketball. Everyone knows he spent 19 years on the staff here at Baylor. And he said he actually helped design this place. He said it came out incredible.
Definitely a great arena. One of the best I've seen in college basketball.
Hawkins decides to give it up to McDaniel.
They get the switch that they want. Edgecombe guarding in the paint.
Hawkins gets around his man, and there you see he's trying to be aggressive on the offensive end.
He's got to have a big game. That's a player with a ton of talent, you know, averaging almost a double-double.
This is Edgecombe missing everything. So a lot of short shot attempts early on for Baylor, but it'll stay here with the Bears.
You know, when you're this big and you get on the move, it's not a lot the defender can do. And right there, drives to the lane, squares the shoulders, up off the glass, forcing the issue. Norchad having some foul trouble in a couple of games. He's a guy that if you can get some early fouls on him, it completely changes the composure of this Baylor team.
Right, with 2 guys on him, draws the attention, but a shot clock violation as Ojanuna could not gather the pass.
You know, John, this is absolutely the best start you could want if you're K-State. The Bears shooting poorly from the field, missing a lot of point-blank opportunities. There they get a turnover. And for K-State, they just want to grind it out, use the clock, and take good shots every possession.
But an over and back violation. So the Bears will get it back as Baylor has started this game 0 for 6 from the floor. They're getting looks. How do you start converting some of these?
Well, it's just a fact of concentration. You got to stay with it. You know, obviously way too early to hit the panic button, but a cold start in a game where you've lost 3 in a row.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. You
Yep.
don't want this to be the third.
Correct.
So it'll be a long time before that kind of doubt creeps in, but Baylor just has to stay the course. They've got good offense, and they've created good looks. The shots will fall eventually.
Scott Drew said Jaden Nunn, the guy with the ball in his hands, he has to step up without Jeremy Roach. 3 ball off the mark, and it's Kansas State's Mac Jones with the board. An early 4-2 lead for the Wildcats. It took them almost 5 minutes in their last game Saturday at Kansas to score their first bucket. So they're concentrating on a better start as the jumper goes for Jones.
Confidence building buckets right there for the Wildcats. This little spin fadeaway.
A little degree of difficulty, what, like a 7, an 8 on that one?
Oh yeah, for sure. One-legged step back off the spin move. Yeah, that's not textbook.
Edgecombe rattles in the 3. VJ Edgecombe, he is known for his athleticism and now his shot. He's a guy who NBA scouts love right now.
You know, he'll make a few plays that are just unbelievable. And there's another play that's unbelievable if you're a Wildcat fan. A third unforced turnover right there for the Wildcats.
We talked about that shot, the degree of difficulty. Yeah, you like this one from Jones.
Little one-on-one, shot clock winding down, spin cycle, fade away, nothing but buckets. And at the other end, Baylor swings it against the D, 3-ball corner pocket. It's early here in Waco.
6-5 Kansas State as we played almost 5 minutes here in Waco. Off the bench, Jalen Celestine. And a 3-ball off the mark, backside rebound goes to McDaniel. K-State was looking to push, but it was Edgecombe intercepting that pass.
Another turnover for K-State. They want to limit those types of opportunities for Baylor. They're a team that usually gets those live ball turnovers and converts them really quick.
This is Celestine. And a battle inside, and it looks like Ojanwuno is going to draw the foul against K-State.
He's such a high-energy guy for Baylor. Gets his hands on a lot of offensive rebounds, really gives them an inside presence.
Baylor 1 for 10 from the floor to start this game. Wright is so good at setting his guys up. Let's see if somebody can get in a good position here. John went out to the bucket, had that one rejected on Yenso with the block.
Now this is just great timing. You're being taken one-on-one, you wait, you see the ball, beautiful block, and not sure that ball didn't go off of him, but there's the block.
Actually, off the dome of Jamuna.
Easy call for the ref.
All right, hasn't been the prettiest of starts. When you played and you were on the floor and things were a little choppy, how did you get some flow? How did you get some rhythm back to the game?
You crank up the defense because a lot of times, you know, it's very cliche, but that defense to offense, sometimes that's enough to get your half-court offense going. And right now, K-State just having a horrible time with ball security, turning the ball over, lots of unforced errors. These are scoring opportunities that you don't even get.
We talked about coming into the Open how Baylor does not want to lose 3 in a row as they're still trying to make sure they stay in the hunt in the Big 12 in this 2-game losing streak at Arizona. The tough one was really the game at home against TCU Sunday. They were up by 12 at one point in that game, and Coach Scott Drew said we just never were able to put them away, and TCU able to come back with the win.
And all coaches want to see that out of their teams, especially here in late January. The ability to close out games and defend your home court, crucial in every conference all across the country.
5 on the shot clock, O'Meara off the mark. And it's Asamoah getting in there, but his one rims out. There seems to be a lid on both baskets to start this one.
There's no doubt about it. Baylor's had some great opportunities, just some funny bounces. right there, you can see the strategy for the Wildcats. Baylor's a team that's going to play man-to-man. They're going to switch everything. The question is, can you find that mismatch before the defense helps out? Right there was a perfect example. They had the mismatch. They rotated over, but they committed the foul.
So Hawkins goes to the bench to get a breather as David Gasson comes back in. He's the 6'9" senior from the Netherlands. For his size, he's got such good feet. He's got that quickness, and he can use that advantage against other forwards. McDaniel says, give me a screen up top. Let's see if we can work the two-man game here. The running sky hook. How about that throwback?
Yeah, you got to go back 40 or 50 years. That's the 1970s right there. I mean, goodness gracious.
Samoda knocks down the three.
Good confidence, nice stroke right there. Kind of gets this crowd back into it.
We are all tied at 8 apiece. 7 minutes in here in Waco. McDaniel, pull-up, jumper. And a strong board to Celestine. You can see Baylor trying to push the pace. Saw Samoda. And it's tipped out. Fight for the rebound. And a foul is called as none was able to get his hands on it.
You can tell this crowd is just waiting for back-to-back buckets to kind of bring that energy back to this arena. Slow start by both teams, but like I said, if you're K-State and playing out here for 7 minutes and Baylor has 8 points, you're good with that. You are completely fine with that.
That is what Jerome Tang, head coach for the Wildcats, wants to do. We talked about it. Low-scoring affair. And this is a Baylor Bears team that averages almost 90 points per game playing here at home. Edgecombe off the bounce, can't finish, but Asamoah knows how to clean it up.
Got to put a body on him.
Skip passes Castillo. He will get it back from the wing and knock down the three. Pretty offensive set for Kansas State.
Oh, that's beautiful pitch and catch. One dribble, see where the defense is and play unselfish.
Even though Baylor has not shot well from the floor, they've been on the offensive glass. Of their 10 rebounds, 7 have been offensive. Here goes Edgecombe. 7 on the shot clock. Surrounded by defenders. Celestine had it stripped. And 2 seconds on the shot clock. It'll stay with Baylor.
Well, we got everything you need in this game so far. The old school sky hook, Kareem style. K-State hanging around in Waco. But Baylor, got to keep an eye on those Bears. Baseline jam. It's close early.
Right, catch and shoot. That was tipped by Jones, and now he's going to leak out. He'll go 1-on-2, and he was looking for a whistle. Edgecombe looked out with the speed burst, had it stripped going up by C.J. Jones. Kansas State was in a little scramble mode, and now they decide to set it up.
That's what you want to do if you're the Wildcats. Take those fast break opportunities when they present themselves, but for them, burning a good 30 seconds, keeping this game tight. Mismatch right here, they're going to have to send a double.
Stays one-on-one. Hawkins inside. The nice dump off to Gasson. And 10 of the 13 points for Kansas State have come in the paint.
Very methodical for the Wildcats. Keep it simple. Huge mismatch. I'm surprised Baylor didn't just double that immediately.
Right, probing now his runner off the rebound goes. Edgecombe is already hit and rattles in another. 10 feet a night, and we're all tied at 13.
Omier does such a great job of getting them extra possessions and making the smart plays. He thought about shooting in traffic, but gave it up to the wide open Edgecombe.
The song gets all the attention. But the pass to the cutting Jones off the mark and a turnover.
Talked about second chance points. Shot goes up. Might have got away with a push right there, but a heads-up play, get it to the open guy, and that's when Baylor plays high percentage basketball.
Some subs back on the floor. Jaden Nunn and Josh O'Jonwan are the starters back in the game for the Bears. As Baylor leads second chance point 7-0 here as we played almost 10 minutes. Edgecombe starting to feel it. A little too strong, and a strong board to Hawkins. Daniel, cut off. Good pump fake by Jones. Gets all the way to the rim, the up and under. And Kansas State retakes the lead.
You know, Kansas State will shoot the three, but you can see they're hunting the layups, they're hunting the post plays, having a lot of success in the paint.
High percentage shots for Kansas State. Leading the points in the paint 12-2. One gets the handoff with 5 on the shot clock. Loses his man. Step back 3. Tipped out. Another offensive rebound for Baylor. Right, a little in and out dribble. Gets to the cup. Can't finish. A third opportunity now. Right, corner 3 ball, got it.
Yeah, Baylor is way too good to give them 3 opportunities at it right there. It just catches up with K-State, giving up those offensive rebounds.
10 offensive rebounds for Baylor. Kansas State does not have one yet tonight. Austin, he's the sharpshooter. They're not giving him any kind of space. Coleman Hawkins showing you the handles. Kick out, McDaniel, and he answers with a 3 of his own.
That's such good offense. You're starting to see the assists pile up for the Wildcats. They're finding each other, playing very composed.
Nunn left open. And it's Austin with the board. You can tell to your point where you were saying Kansas State was trying to pick their spots, and if not, go through the flow of their offense. Austin step back, long 2. And over the back is on Yeso to keep it alive. Hawkins, and a block is called. It is so hard to take a charge in college basketball today.
You got to set up a couple days in advance to get the call, but right now both teams doing a great job finding the open man. Right corner, Baylor knocks it down, but the Wildcats not to be outdone with a triple of their own. K-State by 2. You know that those teams have all had successful non-conference campaigns with the exception of maybe Arizona, who didn't play so well in their non-conference, but the rest of those teams held their own, and now it's kind of a battle of the top teams.
But Houston winning 70-36?
Yeah, that's not a good look for the Utes. They're a talented team, and you wonder, just glancing at the score, if they've had foul trouble, injuries, or something went wrong down there, because Houston is probably the stronger team, but not by that much.
Two-point lead for Kansas State. Right cutoff baseline. Crossover, Nunn, and he has his pass picked off.
Great defense right there, anticipation.
McDaniel will be bumped in transition. First personal called on Robert Wright. We know K-State wanted it low scoring. Are you surprised, though, just how low scoring?
Not really, because if you look at what Baylor's done, they've settled for the outside shot. They've only got 5 made baskets, and 4 of those are threes. So credit Baylor for knocking down the 3, but also K-State, those early layups that Baylor missed, they've gone away from attacking the rim because of that. And if you're K-State, you'll live with guys shooting 30% from 3.
Hawkins is double teamed. McDaniel catch and shoot from the corner. It's pulled down by Alsamoda. There's the shooting woes tonight for Baylor. Another three off the mark, one and done trip for the Bears.
We talked about how different the offense looks when guys aren't out there, but a beautiful move by Hawkins in transition. This crowd is quiet as K-State putting in a little work here early. You don't normally see this. This is coast to coast. You hit the big man on the fly, this Euro step, reverse layup for and one. He is pumped. Once again, beautiful move. That's, dare I say, NBA-ish type stuff.
He was at the NBA Combine, transferred from Illinois. He's known as a Swiss Army knife, but he's also known as a guy getting other people involved. We're seeing a little different side of him tonight.
Yeah, you can definitely see with his size and his ability to finish in the lane, once he turns the corner, it's pretty much a wrap. It's going to be a foul or a bucket. He just has to stay in attack mode. And we talk about how different the offense looks when you're missing key guys. Everybody has to eat differently. When you've had point guards that set the table and all of a sudden you're without those guys, everybody else has to figure out, okay, where do my looks come from? How do I get into scoring position?
Wright is tripped. And as a reminder, anybody just joining us tonight, Baylor is without their starting point guard, Jeremy Roach. He is in concussion protocol. They're also without Langston Love. He is out with ankle soreness, missing his 6th game in a row. So 2 key players for Baylor. They only have 7 deep really tonight.
And you know the other thing, John, it's not who the point guard passes to, but it's who he doesn't pass it to. He knows where the ball is supposed to go and not go. So he keeps guys out of trouble because he gets them on their sweet spots. When you're missing your point guard, it does take a while to recover.
And the 3 off the mark. As Kansas State is now trying to shore up the glass and keeping Baylor to one and dones.
And that's the key thing. Those offensive rebounds that Baylor was able to get, those extra possessions, keeping them closer than they are right now, or as close as they are right now. But it's Kansas State. We talked about them dictating the tempo, and it's plays like that where you run down the clock and you end up with an easy layup in the lane. This will be discussed at halftime, I'm sure of it.
Corey, that's the smallest man on the floor, Doug McDaniel at 5'11", making it look easy.
Well, the defender got caught on the high side, so there was nobody to rotate over. And this is time where you've got to get your key guy who comes up short right there. Omier misses the layup, and it's been quite a while since we've heard from him.
Crowd wanted a foul, a play on here in Waco. Castillo thought about it, got his man in the air. Hawkins. Plenty of time on the shot clock at 10. Kick out, Castillo finds that three-point line, off the mark, tipped out. Gasson keeps an extra possession.
K-State looking for the mismatch. Hawkins against the freshman. Beautiful pass, but they can't connect.
In transition, Omier, that one was affected by Hawkins.
Boy, Omeer's having a tough time to get going, and they've got to get him the ball. He's really the remedy right now for their offensive woes. He's their most consistent scorer. Even if they got to go just straight ISOs on the block, they got to get him involved.
McDaniel with the pick and roll, hesitation now to the rim. That one's over O'Meal as McDaniel starting to cook.
Baylor switching everything. They're going to need a timeout to talk this over as they are getting punched in the mouth by K-State.
A 10-0 run for Kansas State, and it's all thanks to Doug McDaniel.
Doug McDaniel taking matters into his own hands. You want to see some intensity, but right here finds his way. Oh, I'm all alone. Let me go ahead and get that quick one. And then beautiful penetration, floater off the glass, doing it all. K-State up 9.
With the way he's managed the year as the point guard, it was interesting we were talking about, he's like, as a coach and a point guard, when a good or bad play happens, you have to erase it, and you're already thinking about the next one. It's a very different role than everybody else on the team.
Oh, it's a completely different role. Coaches and point guards have to be aware of the short-term and long-term all at the same time.
There's the point guard for Baylor, Robert Wright, a layup coming out of the timeout.
Little straight line drive, and Baylor getting out of that man-to-man. They were getting shredded. Now they're going to their 1-3-1. We'll see if the Wildcats can adjust.
Inside they go. And Moby Ikegaruke off the bench with a bucket for K-State.
And do you think one coach anticipated what the other coach was going to do coming out of that timeout? I mean, that was beautiful offense against the zone. They weren't rattled in the least.
Asamoah, his three won't stay down. But on the offensive glass, Norchad O'Meara will get to the free throw line as Ikegaruke called for his first. All right, much anticipated game was moved to Friday because of the weather in the Deep South. We got Flau'jae Johnson and number 5 LSU taking on Tahina Paopao and number 2 South Carolina. That's at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Excuse me, that was not a shooting foul. They called that one on the floor. Edgecombe rocking the rim with 2 hands.
And you see exactly why they're NBA scouts at this game. Although he's just a freshman, that type of explosiveness, you can just imagine what he's going to be in years to come.
That is the kind of athleticism you cannot teach.
Baylor back in their man-to-man. They've got mismatches out there on the floor, but they do a great job of trying to cover them up.
Jones catch and shoot, the assist to McDaniel as Kansas State has opened up a 10-point lead.
It's so hard to help and close out. When you play a switching defense, you know that you may have to help. And that little bit of distance that you have to give up, that's all the room they need to knock down a three.
Largest lead of the game for the Wildcats as we approach 2 minutes to play in this first half. McDaniel able to recover after that scramble. 5 on the shot clock. Edgecombe. You can just see the confidence out of McDaniel right now. He's just bouncing on the floor.
Both teams got off to a slow start. K-State had that handful of turnovers to start the game, but it's been the points in the paint for the Wildcats that have made the difference.
Calling for it inside is Ikegaruke, and a foul called. They're going to give that one to Jaden Nunn.
Right now, the hits keep coming. K-State outscoring them 20-4 in the paint, searching out those high-lows, those post-ups, those opportunities where they can get high percentage shots. They are sticking to the script.
Well, they're also sending in waves of subs. 3 new fresh bodies come on the floor for K-State, as we've talked about Baylor, only going 7 deep tonight because of the injuries.
And you can do that with a lead. You can get guys out there when you're up.
3 ball short off the hand of Halson.
And Halson's a guy, he hasn't even entered the party yet. He's a great three-point shooter.
3 ball on the way, nothing but nylon. Jalen Celestine.
Big shot right there for Baylor. A little quick and early in the possession, but he knocked it down. And crowd wanting a couple of good back-to-back possessions here before halftime.
Hawkins has the mismatch as Wright tried to draw the foul. Under a minute to play here in this first half. Hawkins picks up his dribble. And good D there by O'Meara, but an offensive rebound. Hawkins, his putback no good. And here goes Edgecombe trying to push the pace. He'll find O'Meara off 2 feet, but a foul called first on the floor. So Brendan Hawson called for his first personal.
That was a pretty smart foul. Takes away the transition bucket, gives them a chance to play half-court defense. Baylor looking to get a little momentum here before half.
A little 2-for-1 here to close out this first half. Edgecombe. And O'Meara knocks down the 3.
That is a huge part of his game. One of the few bigs in the country that's very efficient from beyond the arc.
Got a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. And
in the transition, the wide open 3, they're able to knock that down, showing some signs of life. And then right here, the big from dead on, O'Meara drains it, and just like that, the 10-point lead sliced down to 4. But K-State wanted to have the last word before they hit the tunnels. They're going to hold on, try to run as much clock as they can.
What's been working for this K-State offense here in this first half?
What's been working is they recognize the switch, they penetrate and find the open guy. We know you're going to have to help out on the big. We know you're going to have to help out when our guard starts to break down your big man, but they play unselfish. They get rid of the ball.
Let's see what Jerome Tang drew up. Final seconds here in this first half. Shot clock's at 9. McDaniel now starting to make his move. Shot clock's at 4. Hawkins, a deep 3 on the way. In and out. Rebound to Baylor. 2 seconds, 1 second. Edgecombe. And no good at the horn. And it's Kansas State with a 30-26 lead here at the half. The ball.
Answered the call, took advantage of opportunities that presented themselves.
Here is Nunn penetrating, but another missed layup for Baylor.
It's like the first half all over again. Great play, great move, and the ball does everything except go in.
That's how Baylor started the game, missing a bunch of layups, and then they resorted to shooting threes. This is Hawkins, his 3 off the mark, backside rebound to Gasson.
Well, that says a lot that you start the second half with a stagger screen for Hawkins.
Hassan, a deep one, almost a logo 3, as Brendan Hassan, the sharpshooter. Jerome Tang said, I want him to get up at least 10 threes a game.
That was a huge shot, not because of the distance, just because of the stones that it took to pull that. Early in the possession.
A little too aggressive, reach in on Gasson. That'll be his second personal.
I mean, he's over here by you and me. We could have reached out and touched him. That's some distance on that.
Ooh. Wouldn't you love that green light from your coach? Saying, I want him to get everything up.
I could shoot like that once and then coach would take me out. I could pull one of those off. I can get one of those off a game.
John went on the block. Now they go to the other side with O'Meara. 1-on-2, and it's good D by Hawkins.
Yeah, O'Meara really has to get going in the second half. You see them going to him early on the block. They can't go away from that. He is super productive.
What a pass from Hawkins to Gasson.
Hawkins out here like Steve Nash, just diming everybody up.
Look at this start to the second half for K-State as Baylor calls a timeout. It has been the Wildcats getting. What do you make of that as Baylor right now down by 9?
Well, I'm sure with Coach Drew, there's not a lot to talk about. You guys got to pick up the intensity offensively, defensively. Stop getting beat on the ball. You're giving up layups because of penetration. I'm sure he just challenged his team emotionally to just turn up the energy level.
Let's see if the players do respond after getting challenged by Coach Drew. There's Wright from the corner, his 3 off the mark. But a foul on the rebound. I think they're going to call that on Wright. That'll be his second.
They're going to get the push from behind on the box out. 2 hands in the lower back. That's a touch foul, but it's going to stand.
I apologize. That is Ojanwuna in the post. They called it on his first.
There's a full court pressure.
Hawkins. Here's the double team, and he makes the right pass to Gasson. Hawkins with eyes in the back of his head tonight.
Freshman mistake right there by Edgecombe. He's weak side help, and he's standing out there holding hands with the shooter. He's got to rotate down under the rim and be a help side defender.
Largest lead of the game, K-State up by 11. Edgecombe off the bounce. Jones staying right in front of him. For Chad O'Meara. He's going to bang inside. Shot clock at 1, right. And there's a team rebound going to Gasson.
Well, you saw the 3 white shirts surrounding O'Meara. Great defense by the Wildcats.
Up ahead, Ojanwuna rocking the rim.
not sure if that's not the first transition bucket of the game for Baylor. In a game that's been low scoring, back and forth, half court game, the quick possession for the dunk.
Daniel now slowing it down for K-State. Doesn't use the screen. Now decides to hand off to his big man, Gasson. Takes the bump. And he will get to the free throw line, but he went down hard.
John, you can see the Wildcats aren't going to relent in terms of attacking the basket. These are the types of things you invite when you have a slow start to a game. Confidence builds, guys try to get downhill. This is just a one-on-one straight line drive. Defender's not set, easy call for the official. Dare I say, Kansas State smells blood in the water. They feel like they can take these guys one-on-one, and so far, they've had a lot of success.
We talked about their last game Saturday at Kansas. Started down 14-0, but they got within 6 3 times in that game. It shows the fight of this Wildcats team.
Well, that was the thing Coach Tank said. He said, we have to keep coming. We got to keep coming. We're close. We just got to keep coming. He believes in this crew.
Nick Daniel ripping down the net for 3.
Right now, Baylor just so disconnected defensively. The communication, who's going to step out on the screen, whose responsibility is it? That little bit of hesitation is what's giving Kansas State all the opportunities they need.
None from the wing, and he rattles in, answering a 3 of his own.
They really needed that 3. Nunn has to have a much bigger half because he didn't do anything in the first half.
His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 6 from the floor. Knocked out of bounds, K-State ball. In a game that is so important to both teams, it's Kansas State right now, up by 9. Well, for Kansas State, they've been so effective with points in the paint. Let's take a look at one of the plays where Baylor had a little defensive breakdown.
Recognizing game situations. Now they have the mismatch, and right there, Ojamunu rotates over, but B.J. Edgecombe, this is a freshman mistake. He's got rim protection. He's out there by the three-point line. He's got to get in. Kansas State doing a great job of recognizing, picking people apart, making the extra pass, but a defensive breakdown there by the Bears.
You could see Edgecombe was a little hesitant. Now he's probably thinking, I don't want to give up the 3, right? Isn't that correct thinking?
No, it's not correct thinking when you're weak side. When you're weak side, your responsibility is the ball. If that post move turns into a 3, every coach in America will live with that decision. But you can't give up the point-blank dunk. That is a freshman mistake. I made that mistake 100 times my freshman year, and Coach Olsen brought me to the bench 100 times.
Corey Williams doesn't want to have to have anybody else sit on the bench.
Those flashbacks trigger me. Good defense by Baylor.
And it's the Bears with a steal, right, trying to push it. One-on-one against Castillo. Good transition D by K-State. Right, the freshman probing. His pass deflected. Ojanwina Plenty of time on the shot clock at 10. A lot of contact, and Castillo called for the hold, his first. Our Australian Open coverage continues down under tonight, 3:30 a.m. Eastern, 12:30 a.m. Pacific on ESPN Plus, with the women's semifinals. Number 1 seed Aryna Sabalenka taking on Paula Badosa, followed by American Madison Keys, and the second seed Iga Swiatek. 3-ball from the corners, knocked down. Celestine, that is his second three.
Good penetration and kick right there, no hesitation.
Hawkins had a window, decided to give it up, and it pays off with a three. Man. It's C.J. Jones.
You see the chemistry, you see the patience, they're connected offensively. Hawkins had a floater that he could have shot maybe at 50%, but he kicked it out for the three, which is a more difficult shot, but they're in rhythm right now.
Celestine comes to a stop. And it is right, no good at the rim. Ojanwina, 2 defenders on him, poked. It's Baylor ball with 15 on the shot clock.
Ojanwina always responsible for those extra possessions. He has a great nose for the ball, and Baylor will get a baseline inbounds just off his effort of attacking the rim every time the shot goes up.
Hawkins went for the steal, Nunn now with the advantage.
Great defensive recovery by Hawkins right there.
They get the switch, Nunn trying to go around the big man, and he will pick up the foul as Onyeso couldn't move his feet. That'll be his first.
You know, we mentioned the point guard situation right now for the Bears. Nunn has to kind of shoulder the responsibility of distributing the ball, but he also has to call his own number from time to time. They need his productivity out there.
See if Nunn can try to create something. Instead, it's right. Gets all the way in the paint with the left. How about the English to finish there?
Nice finish, good control, and for the Bears, getting a bucket at the end of the possession, it was huge for their momentum.
Without Doug McDaniel on the floor, it's Castillo running the point from straight on. Couldn't hit the three. Extra pass, Celestine. And an offensive rebound, right, penetrating, blocked at the rim, went a little too deep.
Yeah, KYP, know your personnel. You're out there with the 7-footer.
And Gassan with a defender on his hip will draw the foul. He's thinking it's a shooting foul, but the refs say it's on the floor, called on Ojanwina, his third. All right, Corey, is this a shooting foul?
Yeah, I mean, he's already taken that last step and in the shooting motion. I'm surprised he didn't get free throws, but baseline out of bounds.
These are quality minutes for K-State without Doug McDaniel on the floor. Jones trying to break down his man, and a reach and foul called on Celestine, who did not like that one.
Celestine ready to lock in defensively, but he just put his hand up in the chest area, and that's enough to impede the offensive player, and the refs with the tight whistle here in Waco tonight. We've seen a lot of these ball handler getting the whistle.
D staying in front is none. Shot clock's at 2. Back door. Oh my! David Gasson just found some space.
Great back cut, great vision. And if you're going to go full circle, just lapse of concentration from Baylor. You get beat on a backdoor cut in the final seconds of the possession.
He's such a savvy player from the Netherlands.
You don't stand around and watch your teammates go to work. You make the cuts necessary, and there's going to be a
Ooh, I'm not sure about this one. Was there contact? We will take a look when we come back as we look back at Kansas State late in that possession.
K-State taking care of business off the dribble. When in doubt, hook up your boy. Great back cut as the Wildcats up 9, trying to steal one here against Baylor. Look like it's going to matter. This call will stay in, and he'll get 3 free throws.
Oh, all right. We have not seen many free throws here tonight at all. Just 1 free throw for Kansas State, 2 for Baylor. So Celestine, who is 10 for 10 on the season, will go to the line to shoot 3. Now for Baylor, this is a huge addition back into the lineup. He was on a minutes restriction on Sunday against TCU. So now they have taken the restriction off, hoping to get him more playing time. And there's his first free throw miss of the season. Why are you looking at me?
Why
are you looking at me?
Back at the park, we say the ball don't lie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say announcer jinx.
The ball don't lie. You did not get fouled, sir.
As he goes 2 for 3. Full court press by Baylor, almost get a steal.
Baylor's got to do something to change the tempo of this game. They're a great shooting team, so with the flick of the wrist, they can be right back in it. But they don't want to wait to the final minutes. Not the way K-State has been playing. They've been playing very precise, almost surgical. And here they're working against this zone.
1-3 zone for the Bears as Hawkins penetrating, throws it up at the rim, and it's pulled down by O'Meara. So Baylor gets the stop. Can they get a bucket? Edgecombe rising up, high flying with the finish.
One of those type of players, if you let them get set, it's lights out. He had the option to dunk that, but he took the finger roll. But you see why he is a next level talent just waiting to happen.
You can feel the momentum starting to build for Baylor. How does K-State figure out this zone? Shot clock is at 7.
They've got to get the ball to the middle of the floor.
Jones, pull-up jumper, short. And a Baylor another stop. This place you can feel is ready to erupt.
Big possession here for Baylor. Wouldn't be surprised if K-State calls a timeout if they get scored on, but they're going to secure the defensive board.
And Asamoah called for the foul on the rebound.
You see the speed and the hops right here from Edgecombe. Nobody picks up the ball, and when he sees that lane, he just takes off, floats to the rim. This is a beautiful move.
There's some guys who just make it look easy.
That's the whole point. And that's what separates the pros from the prospects. The pros make it look easy. Edgecombe has that athleticism, that composure. I mean, you watch his body language. He doesn't seem rattled, mature beyond his years.
Cross-court pass, Max Jones open. Can't hit the 3, tipped around, and it's Celestine with the board. 5-point lead for K-State. Edgecombe rise it up, and this time he throws it down. I don't know if you can eat 5% in the first half for Baylor.
Different kinds of looks. These are 1-against-0 buckets that they're getting in the second half. A lot of contested shots in the first half. Credit K-State for playing great defense for the opening 20 minutes. But the first 10 minutes of the second half have belonged to Baylor. Can Kansas State reestablish their rhythm?
On the rebound, it was none out of bounds, so it'll be Kansas State basketball. Once again, if you're just joining us, Baylor Bears are wearing the names of the Immortal 10, honoring the 10 students who were killed in a bus accident back in 1927. This is the 98th anniversary of that accident. That's why the names for the Baylor players are different tonight. 1-3-1 zone from the Bears. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nice pass from Jones, and Gasson knows what to do with it.
Against that zone, the high post and the short corner, Jones does a great job taking the ball into traffic, making a great pass.
They're trying to set up Edgecombe, but he will be held trying to curl off the screen called against Hawkins.
Jones attacking this zone on the baseline. This is a heads-up play. Attacks the zone, sees the help. Great little pocket pass for the Wildcats to edge back in front by one. And how they execute down the stretch against this zone will be key, because it's the zone defense that's allowed Baylor to get back in the game.
Celestine wide open, count it!
The man of the hour, the big threes to bring the crowd to their feet. Baylor pushes back in front.
Gasson, one-on-one kick out, three ball, tipped around. Gasson with the offensive rebound. McDaniel, teeth of the D, and Gasson net at the rim. Norchad Omier says not tonight. Whoa, excuse me. We are calling a foul. My bad.
A lot of body, great shovel pass, and right down low and across the arm. Omier whistled for the foul. It's a good call. Rim protecting, but too much contact to not send him to the line. There you see him also getting a piece of the wrist. But hey, that's what you want in the final minutes of the game. The no layup rule has to be in effect.
The cupcakes are also in effect. If you miss 2 free throws here at Baylor, the students all get a free cupcake. Got to miss 2 in a row. And there's the first. Is it cupcake time in Waco? You know what that means.
Let them eat cake.
Gasson missing both. And the lead stays at 2 for Baylor. Wright, the freshman, taking his time. Edgecombe finding some space. He hits the three! All of a sudden it's raining threes in Waco, and Baylor up 5.
BJ Edgecombe putting the squad on his back, along with Celestine from beyond the arc. Big plays for Baylor. It was a beautiful flare cut to the corner.
Kansas State was up by 12 in this second half, and this zone has confused them on this end of the floor. Jones driving, Gasson another rebound, falling to the floor. He'll find Hassan, and he hits another big three. Hassan, his third three of the night, he's got 9.
And a great timeout right there by Kansas State, just to even things out, get within 2. Some good execution by both teams here down the stretch.
All right, let's take a look at some of these threes that are falling.
Good vision, unselfish plays. Celestine's had the hot hand for the Baylor Bears. You see him drilling it right there. The bench is loving it. And at the other end, this is just a straight-up stagger screen, pin down. BJ Edgecombe with the beautiful knockdown. Baylor starting just 6 for 21, now 5 of 8, but the big shot from the Wild.
Snow. They got snow here in Waco and Central Texas, just a dusting, but wow, snow all over places you don't see as VJ Edgecombe now with a career high.
Career high, he has answered the call. They've run plays for him, and it's one thing when a coach puts the ball in your hand, but in big, high leverage moments, he's done very well. And as far as the snow, I signed at the University of Arizona in 1992. I left all that behind. I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. I wish I could help you, but I can't.
So you're saying they're going to Edgecombe here?
They're going to Edgecombe, and Jones gets caught trying to stay with him. They're giving him a pin down on either side, so as a defender, it's a nightmare because he can go either way. And they get caught holding the jersey, and it'll be 1 in the bonus.
Scott Drew asked his guys for someone to step up in the absence of Jeremy Roach, Langston Love. And it has been the freshman, VJ Edgecombe, with a career-high 21 right now. As he makes the front end of the 1-and-1. Love is out with ankle soreness. Roach is out in concussion protocol. Edgecombe a perfect 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He now has a new career high 23. K-State with numbers, 3-on-2 break. And Hawson makes him pay out of the fast break.
That young man is ice cold. I mean, beat the press. Who cares if it's an early shot? That is a confident shooter right there. Keeping the Wildcats within striking distance.
He is 4 for 8 from downtown. Celestine with his strong left hand, and he'll be fouled.
Right here you see him beating the pressure. Ball only touches the floor once. Great anticipation, but the confidence to let it rip.
When the coach tells you got a green light, you're going to get it up.
That's something else I also don't know about, the green light. I never had the green light in college, so you're just touching on all the things that I never had, snow and green lights.
Okay. That last foul called on David Gasson, his 4th. Jerome Tang will leave his star player on the floor with 4:29 to play in the second half. Celestine has also been key to this Baylor comeback. 16 points now.
He has been huge. He's hit the threes along with VJ Edgecombe, making plays, and that's been the Baylor offense this entire second half.
Gotta know where Hawson is.
Right now they got
4 threes tonight. He lets it fly, and it rims out.
And that almost dropped.
We are in the break zone, under 4 minutes in this second half. Edgecombe trying to set up his man, going against Hawkins. And a late whistle as Coleman Hawkins can't believe it. We will step us.
You need transition buckets? Cool, let me get out, flex, put a couple people in the rim, do what I need to do to draw this game close. There you see the curl with the nice up and under. They're running staggers for him to get to the three-point line. He's drilling those. He has been the offense for the Baylor Bears in the second half.
So under control, so calm, so smooth. As we look at the Bears, the first half versus the second half, the field goal shooting percentage way up, and now establishing themselves in the paint.
And conversely for K-State, they had 20 points in the paint in the first half, just 8 points in the paint. Where have all the layups gone for the Wildcats? They need to get back to that over the final 3:45.
Is that the zone making a difference?
It definitely is the zone. They were getting shredded in the man-to-man, and it was a good call defensively to go to the zone because you eliminated the post play. You eliminated the one-on-one, and they haven't really taken advantage of it the way that they used to.
Edgecombe now up to 25 points on the night, putting the Bears on his back. Wright goes down and pops back up into the play. Hassan playing with those 4 fouls. Nice little shoulder fake, and Hawkins cleans it up at the rim.
Great play right there by Hawkins to not just stand around, but to go for the offensive rebound. In that zone, it's so hard to box out.
3-point lead for Baylor. Hawkins triple sevens tonight. Celestine, mid-range jumper. He's got 2 more, up to 18 points on the night.
And John, his 3-ball sets up that move he just made. Because he's a threat from the arc, you got to close out hard. He blows right by the defender.
Thought about it, but Celestine right up in his grill. McDaniel with the shot clock at 4, stumbles, puts up a wild one. And it's none, settling things down for Baylor.
Two-possession game, plenty of time, but K-State needs to play solid defense. And if you're Baylor, you want to go to the money man.
Edgecombe running the baseline, trying to find some space. It is Wright taking the bump. It'll be on the floor first. And Hassan says, how is that on me? He goes, I'm no guy who took the shot.
I'm really surprised they're going to take a look at this because Hassan got whacked as the defender. And initially they whistle him for the foul, but right here you're going to see that off arm.
Oh, he caught it to the face.
Got him right in the nose.
Previous play is under review.
As bad as I initially thought, but still there was contact. There's the foul, 2 hands to the chest, and then there's the off hand to the nose. Just a question of what they call first.
Well, they definitely called the foul on the floor on Hassan.
But the officials got to the table and straightened it out.
So right to the line, he will shoot 2. The emphasis in shoot-around for Scott Drew and his Baylor team. Shake off Sunday's loss to TCU, a game you were up 12, and show what you're made of when you know you're going to be undermanned. 6-point lead for Baylor. And stepping out of bounds is Jones, turnover.
It's that time in the game where coaches start substituting defense for offense. Every possession matters. 2-possession game if you can hit a pair of threes, but every possession counts for the remainder of this game. Baylor in the bonus, and now K-State with a little token pressure out front.
Got to get it across the timeline. and deflected out of bounds. Baylor ball.
Well, they're lucky that wasn't picked off.
The officials explaining to Jerome Tang that that ball was deflected out of bounds.
Baylor with plenty of time to shoot. And now you're going to go to a pro situation, get the ball to your money man, give him some high screens.
Edgecombe can't get around a defender, Gasson. Shot clock's at 5. In and out. Now goes hard, dribble off the window. What a finish. VJ Edgecombe up to 27 on the night. And Baylor has opened up its largest lead, up 8. Gasson inside, rolls off the rim, and rebound to the Bears.
You got to admire the fight of this Baylor team to make the run and make big plays down the stretch. Edgecombe one-on-one, taken against the taller defender, uses the glass. Little masse is what they call that in the pool halls. Off the glass, beautiful body control. It's all about geometry. Makes it happen. Sensational second half for BJ Edgecombe.
Well, you can hang in the air that long as well. Helps you find the angle. As none missing the first at the free throw line.
Hawson checking in the game. You know they're going to be looking for him in some sort of fashion here.
One of 2 from the line for none. K-State needs a quick one, under a minute to play. Oh, and a grab, and that's going to be an intentional foul called against Norchad Omier. That is not what you need if you're Baylor.
And right here, a great pass.
Oh, he just grabs his shoulder.
He takes a shot, and the rule is, we talked about the no layup rule, but you can't just reach over a guy and bear hug him because that's going to draw the attention.
Previous plays
you
under
don't want
review.
him to get the and one. So there you're going to see the flagrant intentional foul.
They just missed 2 from the free throw line. And if you're K-State, when the clock stops, you get another free throw coming up. One of 2. An 8-point lead for Baylor.
The recipe for Baylor, solid defense and get the defensive rebound. And from this point out, Baylor just has to focus on making their free throws. But if you're the Wildcats, 3-possession game, can you create turnovers and made buckets?
McDaniel straight away, off the mark, and it's Omier with the board. K-State setting up a press off the miss, and Edgecombe dribbles out of it by himself as he's fouled by Jones.
BJ Edgecombe has done everything except sell popcorn here tonight. I mean, he's been all over, making plays. There you see the one-man press break. There's 2 defenders, slip that, 3rd defender, cross him, get over half court, get fouled, and now he's at the free throw line. The freshman leading the way for the Bears.
You know, we came on the air thinking it would be Norchad Omier stepping up for Baylor tonight. Instead, it has been VJ Edgecombe. Look what he has done tonight. 27 points, a new career high, and he's got another free throw coming up.
Coming to a game with Kansas State dead set on pulling off an upset, playing a perfect first half. But in the second half, the Bears just made the high-energy plays they needed to make. The defense showed up. It's been a long time since Kansas State has had any easy baskets in there.
Jones got away with a push-off. A block is called instead. He looked like he extended that chicken wing.
Yeah, he did throw his arm out there. but the defender wasn't in great position. But right here you're going to see there's the foul, and then there's the extension after the foul. So he does a good job of getting to the body of the defender, and then the shove comes, which is what got the crowd upset here.
This will be just the 6th free throw for K-State tonight. So here's again what you're talking about, the substitutions, defense coming in for offense.
And you really don't have enough time to let them try to get a 10-second violation. You kind of got to go for the steal and commit the foul.
As Jones makes them both, the lead down to 7. Full court press by K-State. Edgecombe, and he will be fouled. Don't you love to see when your freshman comes to the ball and he wants to be the guy to get to the free throw line?
You definitely love to see that. He's the guy with the hot hand. He's playing at a very confident level. He knows his guy is going to ride him and make sure he closes this game out. You don't want to see a player fade in crunch time. You want to see him get stronger during crunch time, and he's definitely answered the call.
And what Scott Drew told us about Edgecombe today, a shoot-around, he said, it'd be nice if we got a triple-double tonight.
he just threw that out there. That was on his wish list.
Not quite a triple-double, but he does have 28. 29 now, and he has certainly made it look smooth. V.J. Edgecombe, a 30-piece. 3-ball, Castillo, tipped around. McDaniel, he'll have an opportunity. Hawkins, and he will be fouled. It looked like it was on O'Meara. We talked so much about Baylor tonight, that zone kind of changing the game, disrupting things, erasing a 12-point K-State lead. If you're Kansas State now, where do you go on the cusp of 6 straight losses now?
Well, you got to dive a little bit deeper on some of these losses. This was a good game, a good effort by Kansas State tonight. And, you know, we talked to Coach Tang before the game. He said, we got to keep coming. We're almost there. We got to keep going. And that's exactly the mentality you have. I mean, you don't really get moral victories in the Big 12. Either you win or you don't. But you build on a game like this. They played well enough to beat most teams in Big 12 play, but they're just not going to get the win tonight because the last 7-8 minutes of this game, Baylor just took over.
That was called a violation because Hawkins tried to miss it, did not hit the rim. And Jerome Tang basically explained to him, come on, got to hit the rim. It's the little things. He says, you know, we've been close. We're getting closer. He said, but this experience has been humbling for his guys, as V.J. Edgecombe has been the man of the hour. 30 points, a career high for the freshman.
And as much as I respect Coach Scott Drew, this is not coaching. This is just a guy deciding, you know what, I'm one of the best players on the floor. I'm just going to take over. You call his number and you sit back and you watch the kid deliver. Play after play, bucket after bucket, total domination in the zone. He kind of woke up in the second half, and after those first couple of transition buckets, you just knew it was going to end up being his night.
Now, if you're Baylor, you're hoping some guys start to get healthy. With V.J. Edgecombe, we see his performance on the night. 8 of 13 from the floor, 3 of 7 from deep. Just 21.1 seconds to play in the second half.
I love the diversity of this game. The 3-ball, the floaters, the layups, attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line. Just an all-around hooper.
Baylor will break the press with the shot clock turned off. They could dribble this one out. The crowd at Foster Pavilion showing some love, erasing a 12-point deficit. It's Baylor snapping a 2-game losing streak, getting a 70-62 win over Kansas State.
Great initiative.